All right. Hey guys, how's it going? So, this is actually going to be a part two to the live that I did yesterday. You'll probably get this like later today, or maybe same day, Sunday or early Monday. So, again, this is Joy. And I'm a narcissist abuse coach. So, again, I just wanted to follow up with the post that I was trying to do. I think YouTube cut it short. Maybe I was saying some stuff, but basically, for those of you that deal with the narcissist being ruthless towards you, you may take that personal, or you may feel like it's something wrong with you, or you may feel like, oh, you're a bad person, or maybe it may even feel like you deserve to be treated in a harmful way. I just wanted to reassure you that it's nothing that you did wrong. You're not a bad person. You were definitely just a victim of narcissistic abuse. And I was basically saying, like, on the live, that a ruthless person is another word for merciless, pitiless, cruel, heartless, hard-hearted, hard, cold-blooded, cold-hearted, unmerciful, unrelenting, unsparing, unforgiving, uncaring, unsympathetic, lacking compassion, relentless, remorsefulness, unbending, inflexible, um, brutal, inhumane, savage, sadistic, vicious, cutthroat, dog eat dog. So those are some things that um how a narcissist will begin to treat you, especially if they feel like you're their enemy, or they feel like they're competing with you, or they're in competition with you, or they feel like you've done something to them in particular. Maybe they feel like you're their target, or they want to take something from you, or they feel like you owe them something. So sometimes the narcissist will behave in a ruthless way. So I just wanted to reassure you and let you know that this can happen even if you have never done anything to the narcissist. And sometimes you have to, one of the ways in which you can learn from this, what I was talking about in the live, is sometimes you have to learn how to accept things that you can't change. You have to come to the realization that some people are who they are. It's not your problem, or it's not your fault, or it's not for you to try to fix a narcissist, right? You have to allow some people to be themselves, but that doesn't mean that you have to associate with them, if that makes sense, right? And it's your job, obviously, to protect yourself. It's your job to set boundaries with people that have narcissistic tendencies, right? It's your job to have healthier friendships, healthier relationships, right? It's your job to look out for your mental health, because at the end of the day, the narcissist is harmful not only to you, but they're harmful to your mental health, your physical health, your psychological health, your emotional health, and all aspects. You get what I'm saying? So you want to make sure that you are mindful of that. And then also, again, the narcissist is ruthless because they could be jealous of you, they may be envious, like I said. Sometimes they're bored, sometimes they're insecure, sometimes they're lazy. They may feel like they want people to do things for them, and they may feel like it's your fault. They could be blaming you for something. They are just really just mean about it. You get what I'm saying? And like I said, you probably, for some of you, the narcissist could be anyone in your life. It could be a parent, it could be an associate, it could be a neighbor, or whoever the narcissist is, right? And so the thing about it is the fact that you haven't done anything to this person whatsoever for them to mistreat you and to behave in that manner. And sometimes you have to kind of deal with consequences that you haven't done. Like you sometimes it's like the narcissist is making you pay for something that you never did. Like they're like blaming you for something that you're not you don't have anything to do with it. Like, you get what I'm saying? So the narcissist is very like unfair, right? They're very cowardly. You know what I'm saying? They'll put blame on an innocent person, right? Instead of putting the blame on the correct person. The narcissist doesn't want to do that. They rather take the cowardly route. You get what I'm saying? Because a lot of them are cowards anyway. So, that's why they'll be ruthless to an innocent person, but they won't be ruthless to the person that needs to have the ruthless behavior done. They would rather be ruthless to an innocent person. You get what I'm saying? So, you do have that. But yeah, and the thing is, like I said, I just want to reassure you, for those of you that have been victimized by this narcissist, remember, you haven't done anything to them whatsoever. You haven't done anything. You haven't said anything wrong. You haven't harmed them. Maybe the narcissist could be trying to get your attention. Maybe they're trying to get you to react, or, they want something from you, or whatever the case may be. So what I would say to the individual that's dealing with this is just continue to ignore the narcissist, continue to stay no contact, continue to keep your personal information to yourself. Don't share too much stuff with the narcissist, because a lot of times they'll either try to sabotage you, or they'll try to really one second, you guys. They'll try to really control you. Basically, they'll try to control you, they'll try to destroy you, and get you to the point to where they are, basically, which is miserable, right? Misery loves company. The narcissist wants you to be just like them, right? The narcissist sees you as an extension, especially the narc parents. The narc parents really want you to be just like them, right? That's why the narcissistic mothers destroy their children, or at least they try to, right? They go to great measures, or they'll try to work overtime to destroy their children, because the narcissist sees the children as themselves. And so a lot of times the narcissist hates themselves. So a lot of times they want their children to be the same way. You know what I mean? And so, you do have a lot of that going on. But again, I just want you guys to remember that it's not your fault. That you're being treated this way. And sometimes you have to understand that there's people out there in the world that are, that this is their behavior, this is their attitude. And unfortunately, we have to, be in this world and interact with individuals that are this way. Now, the thing about the narcissist a lot of times is that they don't behave this way in public for the most part. If a lot of times when they are abusing their victims, they actually do it behind the scenes. A lot of times they do it behind closed doors, or they do it in private. That's why I say they're pretty cowardly about it. And stuff like that. So you do have that. Now, you do have some overt narcs that will be loud about it. Like, as far as the abuse, sometimes you'll see, especially like certain couples, you'll hear them arguing, or you'll hear them like fighting one another and stuff like that. So you have stuff like that. But for the most part, most of the narcissists that I have been around, like, like my aunt and both of the male narcs, they were really cowardly about their abuse. It was like in certain settings. It wouldn't be around other people maybe that they wanted to impress, or people that they wanted to think of them in a certain way or see them in a certain light. Because remember, the narcissist is all about the image. So a lot of times, they don't want people to know who they truly are, because, the mask comes down and the cover is being blown. So just like I said, if in the narcissist's mind, if they feel like you're their enemy, then they will try to silence you. They'll try to bully you, or try to do whatever, any ritual stuff. They'll do stuff like that to try to manipulate a situation, or manipulate your thinking, or manipulate your perspective, or try to get you to do something outside of your free will, and things of that nature. Or like I said, they'll try to get other people involved, whether they'll try to coach people to gang stalk you, or they'll try to coach people to harass you and bully you, or try to intimidate you. And they'll think that, eventually you'll get tired, but a lot of times you're really don't care. Like, you get what I'm saying? You're really just living your life and you're not even thinking about, whatever they're thinking. And so, it's just interesting. But yes, you have people that are ruthless. You have people that are ruthless. And what I'll say is, you don't have to be ruthless back. That's another thing I did want to mention for those of you who are like, well, hey Joy, so yeah, the narcissist was ruthless, so how do I respond? Because a lot of people get angry, right? Let's say if the narcissist is gang stalking you or something, or maybe they paid somebody to, or they coach someone to harass you, or they coach someone to gang stalk you, or they coach someone, to like intimidate you or try to get you to feel fear or try to get you scared, or you get what I'm saying? Like, they may do that type of stuff. Or if it's like a parent, then maybe they may try to like stop you from pursuing certain things in your life, or they may try to talk down on you or talk negative and try to disencourage you and try to actually steer you in a wrong direction, or they'll try to give you bad advice, or they'll be like, oh no, don't try that, don't do that. You get what I'm saying? My aunt actually did that to me. I used to ask her, I used to say, oh, auntie, like, oh, I want to try this. Oh, I want to try that. And it was completely innocent. It wasn't anything like a big ordeal. And my auntie would always be like, oh, no, don't do that. Oh, don't try that. And I never really questioned her why. But now looking back, knowing the fact that she was a narcissist, it's like, oh, I see why. But they'll steer you in the wrong direction, you guys. And the narcissist will actually lead you to danger. They'll get you caught up. They'll get you so much bad karma. And you'll be thinking like, huh. And that's when you should really pay attention. Like, anybody that comes into your life and negative stuff starts to happen, maybe you feel tired, or you feel drained, or you feel exhausted, or you feel just like uncomfortable, or you feel like not yourself, or you feel negative, or you feel weighed down, that you should take that as a sign that that's something, that maybe that individual is not right for you, or maybe this friend is not a friend. Or like, if a person causes you stress, anxiety, anguish, mental health concerns, more than likely that individual is probably harmful. Or if they don't know, then if you bring it to their attention, and then if things change, cool. If things don't change, then you have to realize that maybe something's up. You get what I'm saying? And so that should be a red flag, right? One of the things that I've learned in my life is, like, real true friends are people that make you feel good, or people that encourage you, people that uplift you and inspire you, not in a fake way, right? Because people can fake it, but like genuine. Like, you get what I'm saying? And people can fake being genuine. People do it all the time, but the mask will come down. People will always reveal themselves. Like, you don't have to do it. Like, just like the narcissists, you don't have to expose them. They'll expose themselves. Like, you get what I'm saying? So, you just give it time. So, but yeah, I thought that this was good to kind of talk about. Like I said, I had a feeling YouTube would kind of cut it short. Like I said, I mean, the truth hurts. The truth is not easy to talk about. And I was saying this on the live, is that I remember when I first started making my videos, that I never really wanted to talk about my experience when it came to dealing with narcissistic abuse, because I felt like, for one, I was going to be judged. I felt like people were going to be like, oh, how did you not know? And things like that. And then I think I just came to a point where I didn't care anymore. And then I got to a point where I was like, well, I'm here to help others, so I kind of forgot about me a little bit, to a degree, which I think it's helpful, because, you have to get to that point. Because I think a lot of times when people, when they go through stuff and then they want to share it, they're like, oh, what are people going to think? And how are people going to feel? And sometimes you have to kind of, you would have to outgrow that. You get what I'm saying? And I feel like that was something that I outgrew, which I'm grateful, because now I get to help a lot of people heal through what I've gone through. You get what I'm saying? And it's honestly, it helps, because it's not easy dealing with narcissistic abuse. Honestly, I wouldn't wish that on anybody. Like, that is like one of the worst things that a person can go through. um and so that is just, it's horrific, right? It's a horrific experience for anybody to have to go through. And especially like if you have never done anything to this person and for them to mistreat you that way, it's sad, right? And so it takes some time to sort out, right? It takes some time to heal through. So I think it's really important to be able to acknowledge that, and to get the support that's needed. um so I do encourage, for those that's dealing with this, to definitely get the support. Don't be afraid to speak up and speak out, and don't allow the narcissist to try to make you feel a certain way, because they will absolutely. They're not going to want you to speak your truth. They don't want people to tell what's going on behind closed doors. They don't want that, right? Because then they don't want to be exposed, and the truth hurts. The truth comes to light. That's the beautiful thing, because people can lie all day, but the truth is always going to prevail. That's the beautiful thing about karma, right? And that's the other thing I was talking about on the live, is you have to be careful with karma, because when you're dealing with a narcissist, you are going to accumulate bad karma. And so that just basically means you're going to experience a series of negative events and negative things that's going to happen because of your interactions with the narcissist. So that's why whenever a narcissist has chose you to be a target, or they feel like they want to come after you or something like that, it's best not to really do much, because you're going to accumulate whatever. Because the narcissist, you don't have to fight the battle with the narcissist. The narcissist may be trying to battle you, but remember, that battle belongs to God. So we're not God. You get what I'm saying? And so you have to allow God to fight the narcissist, because the narcissist may want to fight you, or they may try to come at you, but you have to remember that that's not your battle to do. Like, you get what I'm saying? So sometimes you have to mature. That's another way. You have to be a mature person. You have to learn how to walk away from when things is not worth it. Like, you get what I'm saying? And sometimes, because people want to be right, you get what I'm saying? That's a big thing. People want to be like, no, like, I have every right to be this way, or I have every right to do this and do that. But sometimes you have to be like, nah, I'm good. Like, sometimes you have to be like that. You don't have to be savage all the time, and be like, oh, I gotta do this, I gotta do that, I gotta get revenge and this and this. And it's like, no, it's cool. I don't have to. Like, you get what I'm saying? It's fine to just walk away and just let it go. Like, and the narcissist doesn't want to let it go, obviously, but that's on them. You don't have any control over that. So it is what it is. So, yeah, hopefully, that made sense, you guys. I hope this, helped anybody that's dealing with the aftermath of being a target of a ruthless narcissist, a savage narcissist, an individual that has maybe targeted you, or had other people target you for gang stalking, or things that you didn't do, right? Maybe the narcissist lied on you, or they cheated, they tried to steal something from you, or they tried to slow you down or set you back. And the good thing about karma, remember, it always comes back. It may not come back when you want it to, but it always comes back. But the thing about it, you want to make sure that you're on the good side, because if it's on the bad side, then you're not going to be in a good space. And unfortunately, you're going to have to learn the hard way. So that's why it's best to, you have to grow and mature as an individual. And it takes time, right? You have to heal through that too. And that's why it's important to heal, because the more you heal, the more good karma you would have versus otherwise, right? The more you heal, the more you can let things go, right? The more you heal, the less baggage you would have, the less stressed you would be, and the more peace you would have, and the more acceptance that you can have in the present moment. Because when you're bitter, when you're angry, when you're always hurting over the past, because it's normal to hurt, right? It's normal to be upset about something, but you got to work through it. That's the difference between a normal person and a narcissist, is that a narcissist will not work through it. They will not heal. They refuse to do the inner work. They refuse to take accountability. Everything is all about themselves. Oh, that person did this, that person did that, and a lot of times it's a lie. The narcissist will make up lies, and they will actually get people to believe them, which I don't know how they do. I think it's because they mastered the art of deception or something. And they'll smear your name and things of that nature. They'll say stuff about you that's not even true. And I guess, like I said, because maybe they've done stuff like that to people before, and maybe it's worked in the past. But I don't know. Sometimes it's just crazy to me. But yes, but hopefully that made sense. If you guys like this video, please be sure to give it a like, share, and subscribe. And if there's any way in which that I can support you, please feel free to visit my website. You can book a reading. You can inquire about any of my coaching sessions. If there's any way that I can support you, if you need a listening ear, if you need some guidance, if you want to inquire about my coaching courses, my 90-day coaching programs, any of my self-study books, please feel free to reach out to me. Make sure that you do try my sugar scrub. Also join my free Facebook support group called the Healing and the Recovery Room. But as always, I am here, you guys. I love you so much. Remember, it's not your fault. You didn't do anything wrong. You did not deserve what happened to you, and it's not for you to go out and become like a person that hurt you, because that's the other thing. Sometimes when they get hurt, then they become like the person that hurt them, and then they actually lash out on innocent people and continue that cycle. So remember, that's why it's really important to heal. It's very, very important to heal, especially because life is short. Life is short, and it's just like, you know what? Some things, like I said, you have to be the bigger person. And I know you're like, well, Joy, why do I got to be the bigger person? Why? Right? But sometimes that's just, he may want you to be the bigger person, because maybe God wants you to share your story with someone that could be dealing with a similar situation. You get what I'm saying? And you may have to go through that inner work and do that inner healing. And like I said, it's not easy at all. And it's going to take some time. You're going to have your mistakes. You may have your pitfalls, but it's okay, right? It's going to be okay. You just have to tell yourself that every day. It's going to be okay, no matter what anybody says, no matter what anybody does, no matter who lies on you, no matter who makes up rumors and tries to start gossips and do all types of stuff. Who cares? Only thing that matters is what God says. God loves you. I love you. And I will see you guys in the next video. Take care. Bye.